So today I'm just meeting with Tom Kingston, who has been drawn to my attention as a racer through meeting his son Tim earlier this year. So today we're going to have a chat with Tom and just find out a bit more about him and a bit about his racing career. So Tom, where did you grow up?
At Stonehaven near Geelong, and served my apprenticeship in Ballarat.
So what were you like as a child?
Am I allowed to swear?
You can say whatever you like, Tom.
My auntie saw me in later years and said, "You were a bastard of a child." My darling Auntie Nell.
Why did she call you that?
Because they reckon I was out of control all the time. Yeah.
So were you really naughty as a
I
child?
believe so, but I don't believe it.
Have you got any brothers and sisters?
Yes.
So how many?
Then a younger brother who is an afterthought. He was 16 years younger than I. Yeah. I said to Mum, "How come that happened?" She said, "Oh, my mother died and your dad was being nice to me."
That's a nice way to get a younger brother.
Yeah.
How old were you when you left home, Tom?
15.
15. And what did you do when you left home?
An electrician.
And whereabouts did you work?
At R.D. Hutchinson in Ballarat.
So was that your whole working career was spent there?
My whole apprenticeship was spent there. Yeah, I was there for 6 years because they were a really good firm. Very, very lucky to have such a good apprenticeship. Not only electrical but mechanical. Yeah.
When you were growing up, were there any people that you knew who rode motorbikes?
Oh, plenty, yes.
Was it sort of a major form of transport at the time when you were growing up?
Nearly, probably half the population rode push bikes to work. And the other half rode motorbikes or drove cars.
So when did you actually buy your first motorbike?
When I was 15.
And what did you buy?
That 250 JAWA there. That very one.
And you've had that since you were 15?
I've had that since I was 15.
And how old are you now?
85.
85. So you've had that bike for 70 years?
I have. Yeah, the engine's up in the shelf up there.
So you're in the process of rebuilding that?
Yeah, the cylinder's away with a friend of mine called Les Bowen for reboring. Yeah.
And then your process of how you got from that to actually owning your first bike.
Yeah.
So that's what we'd like you to just explain.
So how did you? So tell me about the BSA. You were right. You got the BSA. You used to knock off from the cricket club, and go for a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who was the guy that had the matchless?
Same bloke. Yeah. He had it was a pre-war AJS or matchless, and it was a 350 single, rigid frame girder forks, and he used to always park that outside our gate. And then when he traded that in at Hinchy's, on a BSA Bantam around 1950, because we left, it would have been about 48, because we left Stonehaven about 1950, and I rode that Bantam lots of times. And Kelvin Thompson's dad had a Bantam as well, and it was, Dougal's was a green one without leg shields, Kelvin's was a black one with leg shields and a windscreen.
Yeah, right.
His father used to ride that to Ford's and back every day.
Yeah.
Kelvin used to pinch that and ride up to our place.
So was it the matchless that really inspired you to start racing?
Yeah.
So who was the guy that owned that?
Dougal McPherson, a farmer, a local farmer.
So you've ridden those bikes,
Yeah.
and from that inspired you, to stop buying Phantom comics and become a motorbike
Yeah,
rider.
yeah.
So
I started saving up by selling, rearing and selling Bantams.
Oh.
I used to send them into Richardson's Market in Geelong in a crate, and picking up bottles on the side of the road, and when I had a trailer load of bottles, I'd get Dad to hook the trailer up to his car, and when he went into town on a Thursday, call in at South All's bottle and sell all my bottles and bring the money home.
So how much money did you make out of a trailer load of bottles?
Oh, gee, now you got me. It was pounds. It was probably a good 3-month haul was £5. And that was picking up every bottle on the side of the road that blokes had necked on the way home from the pubs.
And within how far?
Well, within a couple of miles.
Couple of miles.
Yeah.
And what about the rabbits?
And rabbits. And I used to catch rabbits. I had ferrets and nets. And I'd catch rabbits, and any that were eaters, I'd cut their throat because they were nice and tender then. And any others, just wring their necks and gut them there because they were lighter. And out in the paddock, just leave it there, it'll be gone in a week. And take them home and skin them. And the good ones, dress them and take them into the Great Western Hotel and sell them to Stuart Lamb's mother-in-law, Mrs. I can't think of her name now, but anyway, they were opposite West Smith service station in the Great Western Hotel, and she'd give me 2 and 6 a pair for carcasses, and I'd usually sell her 5 pair on a Monday morning on my way to school.
And the skins? And the skins?
The skins I had to peg them out and dry them and sell them at Mob out North Geelong.
Yeah.
Skin merchants. Oh, famous name, can't remember. But sell, tie them up in packs of 10, all dried, and inside out of course, and take them into skin merchants in West Geelong.
So how long, Tom, did it take you to save enough money to buy that first spot?
3 years.
3 years to save up.
Buy my first motorbike.
So you were so motivated.
Yeah.
So
I
really,
got
you
out
really.
right on one. I saved every penny I could to buy a motorbike, and I had 150 pounds in the bank, and I paid 120 pounds for the 250 JAWA, and that's it in there. They were 189 pounds 10 new at Malvern Stars and Pratt & Osborne's. Pratt & Osborne had the early model.
And that's the same bike. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. So you bought that when you were 15, didn't you? So 3 years to save up to buy that bike.
Buy that bike, and 189 pound 10 and cost me 120. So I had $60 odd. It's still in the bank. I bought it off a nurse in the mental home in Ballarat. Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she was I wouldn't want her to cross her. She was a big, strong woman. Not a fat one, big, strong one.
Thanks, Tom.